Welcome to No Man's Sky 2.32, the Living Ship Update. I'm Sci-Fi GameCat Henry. This is the Red Shirt Diaries. I'm going to play flat today. Just kind of felt like it. Usually play in VR. And as the title says, Amblin and Ramblin. We're just going to be doing oddball things, trying to upgrade the ship, the living ship. Check out some bases. Who knows? This is my McPhecium base. Have it your way at McPhecium's. I'd like a large McPhecies. So, where did I park? I haven't had a lot of space encounters. I've gone back and forth from planets 5, 6 times. Nothing shows up. And what it does is a trade ship. I don't know. I was watching Sword's stream last night, and I've sent a few tickets into Zendesk, but I have never sent a save. And I'm playing on PlayStation. OG PlayStation, not even the Pro. Of course, it doesn't really matter because it's not a Pro patch for No Man's Sky as of yet. Yeah, I've never sent in a save, so I finally asked, how do you send a save on PlayStation 4? It's a little bit of a process, but a little bit. I mean, it's really not complicated. You download your save to a thumb drive, you put it on your PC, and one of the guys on the show said it works better if you put it in Google Drive rather than submitting it directly through the Zendesk form. So we'll give that a shot after this, because I still have glitches which they said they fixed, but mine still has them. Stuff disappears from refiners. Stuff disappears from the livestock feeders. Stuff, terrain edits sometimes come and go. What was the other big one? I don't know. Just lots of little goofy things. Sometimes I can't interact with things, especially in community events. I don't know if that's happened to other people, but this is my OG save. And like they said, it was a really good point. I never considered it before, but if you have a procedurally generated game like this, everybody's save is going to be different. It's not like playing Altered or Assassin's Creed, where it's the same game for everyone. It's different for everyone. And with all of the updates, your save file is going to be quite different. That's all. So let's do a little bit of zippity doo-dah. I was going to talk a little sci-fi too, but I haven't really had time to really watch much of anything. I did watch Picard on Friday. It's still very good. It's not your father's Next Generation. Things are a little bit different. A little darker, but nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's... If you're a fan of Star Trek, there has been up and downs in the Federation, in the Starfleet. So yeah, it gets a little dark, but nothing wrong with that. It's not cartoony like the J.J. Abrams movies have been. Yeah. Well, actually, let's go to the base. I want to see if my train edits got weird again. Because I had teleported to this base previously, and I had just found a hyperdrive, well, living hyperdrive module. Yeah, all my train edits are borked. Let's see if it clears up here in a second. I had just gotten a living ship. Oh, hey, it's clearing. Living ship warp module, for lack of a better word. And went back, teleported to this base, and none of my train edits, everything was buried. And that's when I decided, yeah, I think I need to send a save file. Yeah, everything's good. As my stuff disappeared. I don't remember if I put anything in there. So let's put something throwaway. Not the larval core. How about meaty chunks? I know it's got the wrong output, but if it stays, good. If not, well, we'll deal with it. Some goop. Alright, that should be good. Just as a placeholder. This one I had named oil field, but I built so many other bases based on resources. Yeah, cactus, magnetized ferrite, sulfurine, eggs, and milk. McPheceans has starbulb, paraffinium, milk, and apples. Apples! I still have some of my legacy bases because they're just fun. Creepy Ranch, Moonbase Beta. Moonbase Beta, that was another one that was weird. I still have the tilted ground thing on a moon. Yeah. Not a big deal, but it's just, I thought they fixed that. You know. Sea Lab 2020, I'm going to get rid of that one because I yanked all the plants out and put them in Valley Forge, which is a silent running reference for all you sci-fi nerds out there. It doesn't look like Valley Forge. I tried to make it look like Valley Forge, but I'm not a glitch builder. I couldn't quite get the domes to offset like it does in the movie, and then it'd be all weird, and how would you... Yeah. So I just left it flat. Anywho. Let's go look for some modules. You know what? Let's drop in a couple links, too. I have not done that yet. I was also thinking about naming my ship Audrey. Which is not really a sci-fi reference, but it is a fantasy horror reference. Where's my share? Copy linkage. Disaccord. Paste a mundo. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Once again, trying to quit smoking. It's not going well. And we'll drop one in without parole. It's flat, but it is No Man's Sky. Okay, done with that. I think I'm good on Quicksilver missions. There's probably one still there. We can do that later. Right now we're just going to hop planet to planet and see if we can get some spatial anomalies to show up. One thing I have been watching a lot of, I work split shifts. Oh, more about the split shifts in a second. I work split shifts, so I've got like 2-3 hours in between shifts. I come home and watch something, try to take a nap, and anyway, was watching Enterprise. And was kind of struggling through the second and third season and stuff, but the fourth season is spectacular. They finally figured out, it took them 4 seasons to, well, 3 seasons prior to do it, to realize that, hey, we've got this whole blank canvas of prehistory. Why don't we do stuff with it? So there's stuff about the Andorians, the Tellarites, the Vulcan, about the Organians, about the treaties, the things that happened before Kirk and before Pike, and it's really, really good. If you're into Star Trek Discovery, if you're into Star Trek Picard, and in between those shows, I would be watching just the 4th season of Enterprise. It really is that good. Once I'm done with Enterprise, I'm going to go back and watch Deep Space Nine. I only watched like the first 2 seasons, and then I got really bored with it. I got tired of the Dominion Wars and all that stuff. And there were a couple characters I really disliked. But I've heard that season 3 is where it really picks up and stuff gets good again. So we'll give that a shot. I hadn't realized when I was watching Enterprise, I thought I'd seen them all. But with crazy work schedules, back then I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs. And I missed the entire 4th season and half of the 3rd. So I really only watched like a season and a half. So there's that. It's good to catch up on it. And then I tried watching Babylon 5 again, which I loved back when it was first run in syndication. It's rough going back to, because it's so cheesy. The special effects are cheesy, the acting is cheesy, the sets are cheesy, the costumes, and there's good storylines in there. If in a world of remakes, I mean, they redid what was it, Lost in Space, and it's pretty good. I think Babylon 5 would be another good candidate for a remake. Do it well, because there was some really good storylines in Babylon 5. It was just hampered a bit by... The same could be said for the original Star Trek. I mean, at the time, there were groundbreaking special effects. And now, if you watch the original series, a lot of times they will have... Oh, we're just about out of fuelage. They have enhanced versions of it, where they did away with the matte blue screen special effects and went with digital special effects. And it looks better. It was kind of pointless, because then you've got, you know, these good special effects, and then you got Kirk. I got to, mister. I still have time. For now. I don't really like fighting in this ship. I've got a couple upgrades on the weapons, but they're not quite where I'd like them to be. Nor the maneuverability. Well, let's go for the one that I've got the marker on. That'll make it easier. Oh, come on. I would sure hate to die in my living ship. Or for my living ship to die. Christ almighty. I'm all over the place with this thing. Does not fly like Ghost, I'll say that. Come on. Oh. I thought my shields were down for a second. Hello. There. I thought there were two. I only got one. Yeah. Yay, I've got more fuel. I burp Coca-Cola. And in Enterprise, we'll go back to that. And in Enterprise, one of the Andorians is Jeffrey Combs, who's great in everything. He's one of those character actors that are like, I know that guy. He's been in a lot of cheesy stuff, but he did a lot of horror films back in the day, like Reanimator. Oh, that was a good one. Also based on Lovecraft, which I love. He was in The Frighteners. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. But today I started a new route at work, and I was really nervous about it because I hadn't driven. We've got two different kinds of buses, big bus and kind of a medium-sized bus, and the medium buses are just breaking down all the time. They're not the best. But I was a little nervous about that because this route requires a medium-sized bus. And a new route, new passengers, you just don't know where to pick people up at because they never stand in the right spot or flag you down, or neither here nor there. It's just something you deal with. But yeah, I was very nervous about it. The run went smooth. I didn't have any problems. I was a little bit late getting to one of my stops, but we compensated. I didn't realize how much my previous run was dragging me down. How much it soured me on not only the job, but on interacting with people. Just general attitude was not the best. So I'm actually in a good mood because of this run and the future that I have with doing this run for the next 3 months until we bid again, and it's a union thing. But yeah, I am so glad to be off of that other run. For various reasons. We won't even get into why. But you could assume, being a bus driver, you see things. I've seen things. Hey, what do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna shoot you. Go away. I haven't watched Sunday's Doctor Who yet. Or The Outsider. So good. So good. HBO may not have Game of Thrones anymore, but they've got Outsider. They had Watchmen. Oh, Watchmen was so good. If you haven't seen it, it's worth the $15 a month for HBO to see that. If you're a fan of the first movie. I read the comics years ago, when they first came out, and the movie did a really good job of adapting the comic to a movie. The pacing was a little off, but it was very comic accurate. My wife couldn't really remember the movie, so she was a little lost, and she's like, why is Dr. Man, and who's this gal? And I'm like, okay, pause. This is what happened. Had to do that a lot. But yeah, I probably watch the movie first again before watching the Watchmen series, but it's got twists, it has turns, it has great acting, great characters, very unexpected things happen in it, where the first couple episodes you're like, why did they do that? And then 2 or 3 episodes later it's like, that's good, okay, I get it. I really don't want to do any spoilers because it's just, it was really, really, really good. And then Westworld sometime is coming out again with season 3, and it's got kind of a Tron Legacy vibe to it, where they show a lot more of the real world. Well, at the end of Tron Legacy, let me say that. And I remember in Zane's video, he was saying that it was pretty consistent that he would burn through 37% of his fuel in his pulse drive. That would be the interval that every time an anomaly would show up. Such is not the case with mine. Which is apropos. If there's a weird glitch, I've had it in the save, which is also why I need to send a save to Hello Games. I've sent in probably a dozen tickets in Zendesk, but I never really bothered with trying to figure out how to send a PlayStation 4 save to Hello Games. I was like, can you do it? So finally I just asked. And I'm glad I did, because everyone was very helpful on Sword's stream. Actually, I haven't finished watching the second season of Lost in Space. I started watching it on my own. My wife got tired of it. We'll start a new series, and 5 episodes in, she's like, I'm tired of it. So I'll watch the rest myself. But anyway, that was one of the shows. And I was watching the second season, and then my son happened to catch a couple, and he's like, well, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. So he wanted to watch it with me, and now he has a job. So we haven't really had a lot of time to watch TV or play board games, something I love to do. Also a nice conversion of things. confluence of things. I don't know. For Christmas, my wife did it, but he gave it to me. He found some Star Trek HeroClix. It was one of those things where HeroClix is these little miniature figures with bases that the stats, combat stats, movement stats, special abilities change with each click. And they're really cool. A lot of them are superheroes, but this one is Star Trek based. They have an Orville one too, and a Next Generation one that are coming out. Actually, Next Generation came out when Orville's coming out. It actually might be out too, but anyway. Working a lot, not having a lot of money, I wasn't keeping up with the HeroClix community, and I missed many releases, like 3 or 4 years worth of releases, so I'm behind on all the little figurines. But in the meantime, in one of those releases, they had the Star Trek Away Team original series, which is my favorite. And I found that it got released like 6 months after it had been out, and of course it was sold out everywhere. I mean, it sold out quick. So it's like, well, maybe next time. Really? Go away. I got shot at too many times. What do you want? Bargain for what? No. And bargain is spelled wrong. Oh, they shot back, that's why. So, gotten back into HeroClix because of the Star Trek. And I'm even building terrain, which is a hobby I had, 10, 15 years ago when HeroClix came out. There was probably a point to all this, but damned if I can remember what it was. Just keep slingshotting planet to planet. Well, I seem to be along a trade route, so why don't I first of all go elsewhere, teleport to another system, or warp to another system. Actually, let's do that. This is one thing that upsets me in VR, is you can't do this. You can't scroll around in your galactic map. You have to look, and it's all stationary. So if you want to go 15,000 light years ahead, you can't. I mean, you can look at something maybe, not 15,000, you can't go that far, but you know what I'm talking about. Sure, why not? I will show you a couple things. Hang on. This would be on one of the maps for Star Trek, the original series, 018, HeroClix. They have the Gorn planet. I think that's what they call it. It's really not the Gorn planet, but it's, yeah. But this is one of the pieces of terrain. It's just insulation board, cut up, painted. But yeah, I was impressed with how it turned out for like 15 minutes worth of work. These are somewhat noise canceling headphones, but I thought I heard the dog groaning. What's up, Java? Hey. Come on. That's 3 in a row. Damn, that is starting to get thin. And then for plants, there's rocks, there's plants, there's all kinds of obstructions on the map. I went to Amazon, got a dozen aquarium plants, little tiny aquarium plants, multicolored. They look very Star Trek-ish for like $5, and they look great on the map. Where's the other planet? Probably behind this one. Nope. Alright, we are burning through the gold and silver. Why don't we process some? Oops. It's very cool that we have that ability now. I think I saw some Herox in my suit too. Oh, Lemium. Heh. Once we drop out a pulse, I'll do that one too. Round and round we go. Oops, wow. Okay, we'll take it. Oh, should probably put that in my ship too, huh? That might be handy. Anything else? Nope. Oh, put the oxygen in the ship too. Yeah, I think we're good. So I got to remember what fuels this takes. Oxygen, mordite, chromatic metal, pugnium. Pugnium, kind of a problem. I think I've got a bunch back on my freighter. And of course, silver and gold. Okay. Whoop, hey. Somebody's watching. I'm shocked. Daniel Hipley, you a living starship. Wow, I got 2 of them. I was considering getting a second one, but I wasn't sure what the steps were to do it, if you'd have to do the whole quest again. But apparently you just buy the egg, you encounter the mothership again, and you pay like 10,000 nanites at the crash site, something like that. So once I get this one fully powered up, probably get another one. Yeah, I dig the living ships, especially in VR, which I should be playing in VR right now, but I just felt like playing flat. And that might be where my hair's thinning from the VR heads. So which ships do you have, Daniel? Mine's the Hammerhead, I like to call it. And I like the coloring on her too. You can't really see it in this light, but it's more of like a purple and red. I lucked out and got a ship that I liked. Whoops. Yes, do that. Eventually, we'll get there. Right now I'm just trying to do upgrades for it. I would really like, let's go to the space station, see what they got. I would really like some more boost, because that will change my maneuverability. Because that really is the biggest issue I have right now, maneuverability and guns. But oddly enough, I do have a couple upgrades on the guns. Actually, that one's maxed out. 2 more for the, I forget which is which. Okay, so I should be using my phase beam more. I think. I don't know. Infra knife? No. Photon cannon? No. And I think... Oh, yeah, let's change that real quick. Yes, I could use another scanning module. I wasn't sure. Yeah, no thanks. It's kind of too bad, but it makes sense that you can't use your augmentations, storage augmentations on the living ships. Can I send you a picture of my living starships? Yeah. Just trying to think of where would be a good place to send it. I do have a Twitter. I think it's Sci-Fi Guy. Let me double check. Sci-Fi Guy H. At Sci-Fi Guy H. Yeah. Or you could post it in Swords Discord, or I'm sure you're a member of Swords Discord. If not, why not? So, we've talked about Star Trek at length. Just trying to think of anything else sci-fi that I've been involved in. Oh, the show on the last... I just forgot the name again. There was a show on the last stream I mentioned, and I right after the stream, I'm like, that's what it was. But of course I forgot. Again. Your PSN 2, I can send it there. Oh, yeah. My PSN is Sci-Fi Guy 1138 for THX 1138. Another sci-fi reference. It was Lucas's first film when he was in UCLA. Hey, we got something. Spewing vent node. I'm not sure what in the shark that is. What is that for? Oh. Well. Oh. Now what? Let me finish up. Okay. Okay, that works. Good timing, boys. Let's see what it does. It does much better. You're a wily one. I like it. I like it. Oh, chromatic metal and gold. Libium, gold. Yeah, libium's gold. I always get confused whether it's gold or silver. Well, cool. Got another upgrade. I talk comic books and sci-fi movies with my passengers a lot too, and one of the gals that works at Barnes & Noble was talking about Bloodshot, and I had never heard of it. It's at first I thought she was meaning Deadshot, but it's a Vin Diesel superhero movie. Kind of like Universal Soldier. He's dead and they experiment on him, bring him back to life, and he's basically still dead but invulnerable. Which is a bit like a short story I thought of a long time ago, but never wrote. About a zombie, basically. He's a superhero. He can't be killed, so he's just fearless. So it would involve a lot of crazy stunts. But anyway, Bloodshot. Not really a big fan of Vin Diesel. Pitch Black series were good. The Chronicles of Riddick and whatnot. Got tired of Fast and the Furious, but it actually looks pretty good. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'll do that in a bit, Daniel. We'll see if we can pick up one more module, and then I got to do back up my save to a thumb drive and send it to Zendesk and all that stuff, and then I'll do that too. No, Let's go over here. I don't want to go to the space station again. Excuse me. What is my maneuverability? 271. Oh. Yes. Oh! Damn it, I wish I was in VR right now. This would be amazing. Alright, let's slow down first. The relay post appears to be broadcasting holoterminous messages across this system. I may eavesdrop on the signal with the right frequency. Hello, friends. What we market for... Oh, I need to learn a lot more Gek. I think I've seen one of these before. It's too bad you can't land on it. That would be fun. Can you? Nope. It's worth a shot. Well, that was cool. Oh, just about out of juice again. I got more gold. And I think one of the graphical... Oh, wow, we got lots of... Hey, beautiful. Oh, I should have used the phase to see how well that would work. Wow, we're doing pretty good on the guns. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of nanite farming. Oops. Evolve. So 6%, 3%, 3%, 733, 833. So that's my lowest one. I wonder, since this is fully upgraded, well, not really, because you could probably put them in the storage sacks too. If once you're fully loaded, it'll not give you the same things anymore. Oh, I thought I had another thing. Oh, can't send you pictures, we need to be friends. Okay, yep, I'll do that after this. Actually, yeah, I got 2 modules today, and I've talked a whole lot of sci-fi. So, I think I'm going to call it... Yeah, I've been going for almost an hour. Just rambling. Amblin and Ramblin. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, Daniel. I'll do that friend request. I'll accept that, and we can share some stuff. And thanks for watching. Live long and prosper.